December 6th through 9th, Art Basel, one of the country's biggest art showcases, hits Miami. And some very talented kids will be teaming with a South Florida street artist to show off some very impressive works. Here's their art teacher, Annie Gagnon, with more. Annie, thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
I've been practicing this all week. Petit Papillon.
Perfect.
Come on, right?
Perfect. Good job.
So tell me about the school.
Okay, we're a Montessori school. We're located in Miami Beach, and we are a community of educators, parents, children, all committed to the Montessori philosophy. Our aim is to provide the best environment possible for children to not only evolve academically, but also socially and spiritually.
So for people that don't know the Montessori philosophy, and I know you just kind of touched on it quickly, explain it a little more. What exactly does it mean?
Okay. It's a child-centered educational approach that values the human spirit as well as the emotional development of the child, and it's based on following the child.
And George Clooney was a Montessori student.
Yes.
Look how well he turned out.
Right, exactly.
So every single one of your kids will grow to be people's sexiest person alive.
It's exactly.
Obviously.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, tell me about street funk. It sounds funky.
It is very funky. Our theme this year is street funk, and that idea was inspired by the desire to have our students work with a graffiti artist to paint one of the walls at the school. So from there, our idea was born to have that be our theme this year. Last year's event was titled Dark Side of the Rainbow, and it was kind of like a Pink Floyd meets Wizard of Oz theme, and all the artwork is the children's artwork.
So how old are these kids?
We 18 months to 10 years old.
So what do these kids know about Pink Floyd?
Not much, but it was just the idea it was just the theme. So, you know, that night we did have a rock band that played some cover band that played some Pink Floyd music.
Okay, that's really cool. What are some of the other installations?
We have another installation by our elementary students titled Did You See That Funk? And their project was to go around in Miami Beach and to take pictures of what they thought, and their creative opinion was funky.
Okay.
So you can imagine the pictures that we got back.
Oh, very fun.
Yes.
So, and you mentioned that they're going to be working with Danny Fila, who's an artist, very talented. In fact, we're going to be talking to him in a couple of minutes.
Right.
That is yet another cool thing that's part of this.
Yes, Daniel Fila will be painting a wall that we have at the school, a mural, with our students, with our elementary students. He's going to be starting it early on and then finishing it live that evening.
Yeah.
And we'll have live music, we'll have a DJ, and then we'll have the installations. We have a poetry installation and then the 2 photography installations, and we're actually going to have a movie as well. It's going to be a movie of our elementary students kind of showing off their funky breakdancing moves, and also responses to questions such as, what do you think is funky, or what does funk mean to you?
Art Basel is such a big event in the South Florida community. Do these kids have an appreciation of what they're a part of? Yeah,
they do. And you know, that was the point. You know, our head of school, Damaris Darling, she believes that art is a platform for children to express themselves individually. And so Art Basel being such a big part of Miami's culture, we wanted to provide not only an event for children, but also an event of our children's artwork.
I read that families are encouraged to wear funky streetwear attire.
That's right. And last year they were encouraged to wear black and white, you know, kind of that black and white to color theme. And so this year, yeah, just dress as funky as you want.
What are you going to be wearing?
You know, cool sneakers with teddy bear heads on them, and
that's so weird because I was going to wear the same thing. Yeah, now I can't. So now I need a new wardrobe. Yeah. All right, last thing, give us the particulars, people that want to go, how do they find out about it, all that stuff.
Okay, well, we're located in Miami Beach, Le Petit Papillon Montessori School. You can go to our website, lepetitpapillonmontessori.com. It's going to be Friday, December 7th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m.
All right, Annie, we will see you there. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
So who is Danny Fila, and what makes his brand of art so unique? Well, here he is. Danny, good to have you here, buddy.
Thanks. It's good to be here.
I like it. You're an artist. You're like sort of quiet. I can see.
Oh no, not at all.
No,
I'm not quiet.
Okay, so let the fireworks begin. So let's talk about your background. Tell me about it.
Well, I grew up in Miami, and I was in art school from middle school on, and I got a lot of exposure through the magnet programs of graffiti and urban art, just taking the metro rail through the city. And I was really just inspired by it, and I wanted a piece of it. I wanted to be part of it.
That's so cool. So you knew at a pretty young age what you wanted to do then?
Yeah, I mean, I was always into art, but you know, I I started to get my confidence with it, and it just became who I was really early on.
Okay, so I went to your website, and you say, medium is obsolete when vision is strong enough, style is dead skin, communication is clearest to all in a language you alone speak fluently.
All right.
I don't know what any of that means, man.
Those are three different things. Medium is obsolete when the vision is strong enough because, you know, people get so caught up in the technical ability and how good they are at something when it's really, first and foremost, about what you're trying to communicate, what your, you know, vision is. So as an artist, I always try to make sure the concept and what I'm doing is in the front of my mind and not how well I'm drawing this apple. And then style is dead skin because people, they do one thing, it works, and they just keep doing it over and over again. And it, you know, in commerce that might work, but in art, it's, you know, that's dead. You gotta refresh. And the third one, what was that?
That was the communication is clearest to all in a language you alone speak fluently.
Right. That's just about originality and having your own, you know, language and vocabulary.
So then your style, is there like a way to describe your style?
You know, people do that for me. They say it's urban, they say it's, you know, graffiti, they say it's street art, illustration. These are all, you know, components of it. I'd like to think it's ongoing. I want to, you know, not get too into characters, but I do a lot of characters. I do a lot of abstractions. I like to exaggerate and blow things out of proportion with, you know, some of my work, but I can't really describe it. You have to look at it.
Right. So tell me about what you're going to be doing with Petit Papillon.
Well, the mural is going to be from the third eye perspective. You know, it's going to be a city landscape with the kids and their environment being lush, and you know, characters come to life. But it's really like through the third eye perspective and the idea of your mind's eye.
What would you tell parents who are watching, who have kids that want to be like you, that want to be artists, and even kids that are watching? What advice do you have?
You got to work really hard. You got to practice a lot. Practice, 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 because, you know, before you know it, people consider you good, and then can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? And then you can be like, well, what are you going to pay me for that? Or, you know, you have to be so committed to it that you become, you know, in demand. You know?
You must love this, though. This is a great time for you, right?
Yeah, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. I mean, I was an artist in this city, and then the city became the art city, and I'm like, oh, I'm here. I'm doing this already, so it works. It's great.
Congrats, man. And finally, if people want to get more information about you, how do they do it?
craveart.com with a K, but I bought it with a C too, so you'll get to it one way or the other.
All right, buddy. It was great to meet you, and best of luck with everything you got going on over the next few weeks.
Thanks.